This is the VOA Special English Agriculture Report. 20 years ago, when the Soviet Union collapsed, so did beef production in Russia. Breeding and management programs for beef cattle fell apart. Today, Russia imports much of its beef. Cattle are raised mostly for dairy. Instead of beef, Russians have expanded poultry and pork operations. These are faster and less costly to start. But there is some new investment in beef production. And one of those involved is an American rancher and cowboy named Darrell Stevenson. He sees plenty of room for growth. Russia's beef herd is less than 1% the size of the American herd. He says there is tremendous opportunity in Russia in terms of resources and available ground. In late 2010, Darrell Stevenson began sending cows, bulls, horses, and equipment to Russia. He sent more than 1,400 animals. About a third of them traveled by ship. The others came by plane. Mr. Stevenson has 2 Russian partners in what they call the Stevenson Sputnik Ranch. The ranch is located on almost 6,000 hectares of land in Voronezh, in the Black Earth area of southern Russia. The Angus and Hereford cattle came from ranchers in his home state of Montana. The imported cows have given birth to their first calves. He says, "We are helping establish a local beef herd, a regional beef herd, and eventually a national beef herd." Yekaterina Zumina grew up in St. Petersburg and trained as a veterinarian. She worked last year on Darrell Stevenson's ranch in Montana to learn American methods. She says Russians have a lot of experience with dairy cows in barns, but not with beef cattle on open rangeland. She says it is really hard to find good enough people in Russia that can work with beef cattle, because Russia is world known as dairy country. We have lots of dairy herds, dairy cows, but managing dairy and beef cows is a totally different thing. Darrell Stevenson is not the only American involved in projects to build a high-quality beef herd in Russia. Reaching that goal will take time and a lot more cows. But Ms. Zumina says the ranch in Voronezh can help show Russians that cowboys really exist. For VOA Special English, I'm Carolyn Pursuti. You can download MP3s of our stories and do English teaching activities at voaspecialenglish.com.